So once the agenda started to get built, people would then go into breakout sessions, and we'd have up to 15 breakout sessions at any given time.
Because if we don't all share the same vision, then it's very difficult as a team to function.
We could all sit in a room and communicate really well and not have and not be working interprofessionally.
In faculties where you have people in the caring profession teaching about how to care for others, but within the team are not caring at all.
We train people in silos, especially physicians. We train them to believe that they are the ultimate bearers of responsibility for what happens to the patient, and therefore they have to be in control. And as long as you continue that ethos, I think that teamwork is going to be a foreign concept to physicians.
I was looking after my loved one, and then I noticed that I was helping the nurse a lot, and I finally understood, ... You hear these stories all the time, and that is something that we can actually incorporate on the ground with all of our health students.
And then they'll be at the next team rounds when the occupational therapist is there saying, this is what I found when I went to the home. And she'll turn to the physio and say, I measured the door, there's no way the walker that you want her to have will fit. And the social worker will say, well, and what kind of food was in the fridge? And the whole discussion then goes from there, and you see the power of the interprofessional team.
And I'll tell you, when you clinically get to medicine, what you do is model the people who are teaching you. So exactly. You role model your attendings, you role model the nurses, you role model the physios, you role model the people who have more knowledge and expertise than you have. So if they don't have those skills, I really think you don't have a hope. Like, you can give the background information, which is important, but if it's not actually happening, I don't know how students learn to implement it.
We have a whole team, a work group, working on leadership, and we looked at how do you identify leaders. We asked people that self-identify, when did you know you were a leader? So if you think, each one of you, when did you know you were a leader? Well then, if that's when, and most of people, it was around an event that had happened. Somebody they respected said, could you do this for us? I think you'd be good at that.
We were taking a tour, and we heard the CEO of one of the Mayo Clinic talking, and he made it very clear that they will identify people who are disrespectful. They will put them through a training program to try to teach them to become more respectful. And he made it very clear, there was sort of this question from the audience, well, what do you do if they don't learn? They fire them.
Yep.
And so that was from the CEO saying, we just do not tolerate this type of behavior.
It wasn't just throwing money at it, it was actually resolving some of these human issues that actually were blocks, loyalties within old practices that had to be resolved before you could actually establish new ones.
And my big push has been put money into doing systems transformation, because to do that you have to be able to free some of your clinician to participate into that. You have to replace them if you really want them. If you don't want, if you want it to be a up here type of investment, which won't take, then carry on the way you're doing.
The little initiatives aren't going to go anywhere unless you actually take those little initiatives and put them all together to an organizational, structural change, which is supported with the system, which I think the system's there. It's that middle section, the meso section, that I think is really needing some of the huge shifts that are happening. And we're coming at it from below saying, we believe this, we want this, and from above now, it's coming down saying, we'll give you money for this. Okay, well now we need to restructure this to support, and that restructuring is going to take a long time. But I just find that, just as a reflection, that I think that we don't celebrate the fact, or actually just step back and say, it's happening. It may be not at the pace that we want it, but it is happening, and let's just illuminate where it's happening and share that so that the cultural shift can continue. And that, I think, is stories. So this conference is a way to sort of maybe bring that forward. What about taking a topic like mutual trust and respect and really delve in it? So we have like 6 sessions in the year, and we're just doing 1 day of, so let's really get to the core values. Like, where are we at? And really, because I think if we could get down to the core of it, rather than these vision statement days that we have, which mean nothing. Like, they really mean nothing. But let's really delve and really get to the hardcore stuff that gets people to understand how we think, how we operate. And we never put that in place.